You not thinking Joe Mauer is a Hall of Famer is one of the most absurd things.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
He won the batting title 3 times as a catcher.
That makes you a Hall of Famer.
He was a league MVP.
That's fine.
He was a Silver Slugger 5 times.
You know there are a lot of we've seen in baseball league MVPs never go to the Hall of Fame. Roger Maris for a long time didn't go to the Hall of Fame. As a player, he didn't go as a Hall of Famer. And Roger Maris was the league MVP twice. What does that mean?
Dude.
I'm just telling you, Roger Maris. Right, when you're trying to compete to make it to the Hall of Fame, you have to be the elite when it comes to baseball.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Name me a better catcher than him during his
time. Again, I'm going to tell you, I named a bunch of catchers that are Hall of Famers. There's only 10 or 11 Hall of Fame catchers.
During
and
Mauer
it's not
was
easy
playing,
to make it as a Hall of Famer.
Who was more elite than Joe Mauer when Joe Mauer was playing catcher?
I think there were 12 Hall of Famers that have made it.
There are 19 total Hall of Fame catchers.
Okay.
How many other catchers won the batting title?
What do you mean?
Yadier Molina did. I think that was
Roger Maris won the batting title.
And Yadier is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Of course.
Roger Maris won the batting title.
He wasn't a catcher.
It doesn't. You're talking about positions and guys that are going from one spot to the other. Okay, catcher Johnny Bench is he as good as Johnny Bench?
Johnny Bench might be the greatest catcher of all time.
Okay, let's go to play
catchers. Rodriguez is steroids.
Let's go to catchers that he's somewhere close to.
Mauer is the only catcher in the American League to have won a batting title. The only one.
And that makes him a Hall of Famer?
He did it 3 times.
Okay, but that doesn't make him a Hall of Famer. Jeff Kent should be in the Hall of Fame. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Jeff Kent is not.
Was he a catcher? No.
Jeff Kent's hated by most baseball writers. Joe Mauer's loved by most baseball.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
To the writers,
there's a lot of loved players that are not in the Hall of Fame that should be in the Hall of Fame.
Who?
What do you mean who? I don't know, but I'm sure there is.
Ricky LeDay's loved, but Ricky LeDay ain't going to get in the. Do you want me to go? Didn't have numbers.
I could sit here and scope the players that didn't make. Don Mattingly was a loved player. Did he make it to the Hall of Fame? His numbers were pretty damn good. He should be a Hall of Famer. He should, but he's not. How many players had 5 years straight the numbers that Don Mattingly had? The numbers that he put up. Not even close.
But as we were saying, Joe Mauer had that great 7-year stretch for a catcher, too. So it's the same logic. Both should be Hall of Famers.
Again, it's very hard to get in as a Hall of Famer as a catcher. And I don't think that Joe Mauer, in the contents of catchers of all time, I don't think he's amongst the greatest.
No other catcher has even finished in the top 3 for an MVP voting.
Okay.
He won it.
Okay, but does that make him a Hall of Famer? Because he was an MVP.
Yeah.
I don't. So you're telling me because he accomplished one thing, he never won, never, and I don't care. Winners win.
Piazza never won. Piazza's in the Hall of Fame.
What are you talking about? Piazza never won.
What did Piazza ever won?
Piazza went to a World Series.
One World Series and he lost.
Yeah, but didn't he go with the Dodgers?
No.
He didn't go with the Dodgers, but he made the playoffs all the time with the Dodgers.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And Mauer made the playoffs with the Twins.
Not all the time.
A lot.
Enough.
And he wasn't healthy. And he was a lot.
Yeah.
He didn't play a lot either. He was injured. He was an injury-prone player. Joe Mauer. Yes, he was.
He had only 2 seasons which he played less than 100 games. His first year in the league, he played 35. 2011, he played 82.
Joe Mauer was not.
So he was a very healthy player, which is very contradictive of what Errol is now saying. And so now that he said it, he's going to ignore that he was wrong.
No, I'm not. First of all, I admit. Listen. At least I can admit when I'm wrong. You don't. And then when you think you're right, you sound like a moron. Okay? Why? Because I didn't look at it? Okay. So he played 140 games, 130 games. He also played 109, 35, 82. I mean, you could go. That's not good. That's not good.
140 games is a lot of games because catchers don't play every day.
Why isn't Jorge Posada in the Hall of Fame? Answer that question. Riddle me this. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame?
I'm not even sure he's been out of the league 5 years.
Yes, he has. Yes, he was. He's off the ballot. He was off the ballot in the first take. He got 2 votes.
Then he didn't get enough votes, did he?
You're a Yankee fan, right?
Jorge Posada was just as good as Mauer was when it comes to numbers. Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
And he won. He won.
He won what?
He won championships.
He was part of the greatest dynasty in New York sports.
And he wasn't one of the greatest catchers ever played in the Yankees? With the Yankees, one of the best dynasties? Yes, he was.
He's not even top 5.
Yes, he was. Not top 5? Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
John, to answer your question, Ted Simmons was the senior inductee this year, so he actually is now in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he was.
Yogi, Howard.
275 home runs, batting career 273, 1,000 RBIs as a catcher. He's a Hall of Famer.
He's one of the top 5 Twins of all time.
That's great. The Twins are not a good organization.
When you list the current Yankees, of retired Yankees of the past,
they've had a lot. The Twins, believe it or not, the Twins have had a lot of really great players.
Yeah, they had
Rod Carew, Killebrew, guys like that. Yeah,
Kirby Puckett, Jack
Kirby
Morris.
Puckett was the best one, I think.
And then Mauer. Mauer's on that Mount Rushmore.
I don't think so. Well, I don't think he is.
Fun fact, Rod Carew
He's probably one of the best catchers to ever come into an organization. That's not saying much.
He's the greatest catcher to ever come out of that organization.
That's fine, but that's not saying much about that organization laying on catchers. The Yankees organization, we can name a bunch. And Jorge Posada, you look at his numbers, he should be a Hall of Famer, but he's not.
You can name a bunch because you grew up in New York.
No.
If you grew up in Minneapolis,
you're going to tell me when your career, a right-handed hitter, as a catcher, 273, 275 home runs, and over 1,000 RBIs. I'm sorry, he's a Hall of Famer. He didn't get. That's fine. He was a right and left-handed hitter. And honestly,
you're saying no, but he was a switch hitter, and you're trying to make it sound like he was just a right-handed hitter. False.
So what? So what? He's a career 275 home runs and 273 hitter. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's not getting into the Hall of Fame. So what makes you think that Joe Mauer's getting into the Hall of Fame? You sound like an idiot.
It's 30 points higher.
Batting average means nothing.
But
in
then
baseball,
why'd you bring it up?
I'm just telling you. Batting average means
nothing. How many
nothing.
hits does Posada have?
Batting average means nothing to writers anymore.
How many hits does Posada have?
What are you talking about? He has over 1,000 hits.
Mauer has over 2,000 hits.
That's fine. That's fine. They're different players. But again, I'm telling you, dude, he's a 5-time All-Star. He's a 4-time World Series champion, and he won 5 sluggers, silver sluggers. Those numbers are Hall of Fame.
You ever win MVP?
That's fine. I do. How many players win MVPs?
How many Gold Gloves Posada win?
How many players win MVPs? How many players?
2.
Every year,
right?
it's not easy to win an MVP. That's fine. But when you have one good year, we've seen. Hey, look at Jose Reyes won the batting title because he didn't hit his last game because that was his way to winning a batting title.
Well,
you know how hard it is to win a batting title?
It's hard.
It's hard.
Mauer did it 4 times.
But he won it. I understand that. But to say that Mauer is a Hall of Famer, when you look at the numbers and they dial up almost close together with Jorge Posada's and he only got 2 votes, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Can you bring up the all-time hit list, please? I would love to see.
For every position or just for catchers?
Just all time. Because I would love to see who's around Joe Mauer and see if there's any Hall of Famers around him. Because if there's even one.
What are you talking about?
If there's
2,000
even
hits?
one.
But there are a lot of players, I'm sure, that were like 2,400 that have made the Hall of Fame. But they also hit like 500 home runs.
All right. Well, I bring that up. Carl says Ernie Banks never made the playoffs.
John, we're not talking about Ernie Banks.
Shortstops of all
we're
time.
talking about the 40s and the 30s, not even the World Series era. Give me a break.
John says Mike Piazza.
Isn't Ernie Banks like in the 30s and the 40s?
60s. He was on the. I think 60.
When did the World Series? When did the World Series come?
1903.
The World Series or the champion? No, World Series championship.
The World Series was invented in 1903. They first had NLCS and ALCS.
How many? So
in the 60s, 70s.
So how many? Because the championships, the World Series, I thought came in the 30s, didn't it?
No, that more teams came in then, but actual World Series, the first one was 1903. But they didn't expand until the NLCS and ALCS playing for the pennant until the late 60s.
Think about that. If they didn't have any World Series, Babe Ruth would have won no World Series.
No, there was championships. There were championships because the Red Sox.
No, they called them World Series.
I remember they called it a championship, not the World Series.
They were also like 9 games, weren't they?
I think so in the beginning, yeah, like the dead ball.
Yeah, like the Black Sox thing was like a 9-game series or something.
That's right, yeah. Let's see. So you want to see where Joe Mauer was on the all-time hit list, Tyler?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find it on Baseball Reference.
Here it is. So he has how many in his career? 21, 23. That puts him It looks like it's like barely outside the top 200. Of course, my computer's deciding to freeze up now.
I mean, who is getting in from this era if he's not a Hall of Fame catcher?
I don't think a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people are going to get.
Well, by
from
his
this
logic,
era.
Posey ain't getting in either. So
Probably not,
dude. He's
Probably
like
not. You're right.
He's like a 5-time Gold Glover and a 5-time Silver Slug award.
So
winner.
was
He won an MVP.
Jorge Posada.
222.
Slow down before you start going off.
I'm not going off.
If he's not in from this era, who is a Hall of Fame catcher then?
I don't know. It's going to be hard to make it into the Hall of Fame now, especially at that position. But I think the game has changed.
Holy crap!
What?
Wait a minute. How many?
What are you looking at?
Wow.
Just spit it out.
So
Tyler.
your boy Mike Piazza has 4 more hits.
Okay. So what does that
in
mean?
his entire career?
Yes, and Mike Piazza.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
He has over 300 home runs.
I don't give a crap about home runs.
I do. And Mike Piazza is a completely different player. He's
You're
not
right.
even in the same.
He couldn't catch you.
He's not even in the same boat as Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer
is the better hitter. Actually, yes.
Mike Piazza is a better player.
No.
Yeah, Mike Piazza was a better player.
He's not. That's what you're saying because the home runs.
No,
and RBIs
Mike Piazza was a better player. Joe Mauer didn't lead his team to do nothing. They didn't win. They didn't do anything.
Steroids and 0 Gold Gloves.
You don't know if he did steroids. There was
Everyone
nothing
from that era
That's
did
fine,
steroids.
but there was no proof that he was caught with steroids.
And there's no proof that Joe Mauer isn't the best catcher of this
to
generation.
say that. First of all, I'm trying to read what everybody's writing.
It's hard to say he's the best catcher of the generation because there's a couple of guys.
I didn't say that he was.
But there's a couple of guys you could throw in there, right? Like Pudge Rodriguez is for sure.
No, that's a different. No, I consider him part of the steroid era.
But they
played during the same time.
Yeah,
Pudge's prime is the mid '90s, early 2000s.
When did Pudge Rodriguez retire?
Pudge was
2010,
great every
2011,
year.
but he played like 20 years.
Pudge was great every year. Pudge is he's so much light years better than Mauer and the people that you're bringing up. Pudge Rodriguez, everywhere he went, he won. Everywhere he went, he won. Okay, and he was a great hitter for catcher. I don't get steroid or no steroids. He was never caught with steroids. So you can't.
He's the only good player in Dallas in any sport in the last 50 years.
Probably. That'll go in the Hall of Fame. Probably. As of right now.
It's Pudge, Dirk Nowitzki,
and
nobody else.
Dirk, too. I forgot about Dirk.
Carl says Ichiro didn't hit home runs, and he played at a power position. Kirby Puckett didn't hit a ton of bombs.
Pudge also only has one MVP.
And, yes, the catcher for the Royals, Salvador Perez, right now is putting up Hall of Fame numbers.
I mean, you're literally, but they're trying to compare catchers to literally the greatest hitter of all time, and I don't care, fuck your Pete Rose or any of that kind of stuff. If Japan had let him come over, Ichiro would have spent. Dude, Ichiro missed 10, 12 years in the majors and still hit, what he hit, 3,500 hits?
Mm-hmm.
How many did he have? 3,300?
He is the all-time hit leader if you compound both.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
He has over 3,000 hits in the American League. Hey, I think he's got like 5,000 hits. Close to 5,000.
Yeah, I
if
think
you combine Japan, it's not even
I think
close.
it's closer to 6,000.
No, I think it's.
He had 3,089 hits in the major leagues. I think if you combine the Japanese numbers, I want to say it's like 4,600 or something.
Yeah, it was like 46, almost 5,000 that I remember. If I look at it, I'm pretty sure it was like 5,000 hits. Ichiro major league hits was 3,089, and he did it faster than any player in history.
Mm-hmm. And it is the most 200 hit seasons. Yeah.
Right. That's why it's unfair to compare catchers who aren't traditionally great hitters to literally the greatest freaking hitter on the planet.
Did I miss something here?
Hold on. Carl says
43-67.
Salvador Perez, does he get into the Hall of Fame? What's his numbers?
No.
What's his numbers? What is Salvador Perez's numbers?
He doesn't have the longevity.
I just want to see. What
you want to talk about injuries? His
Speedy, bring it up. Salvador Perez.
And listen, I know that you just shrug it off and blow it off, but there's something to be said for a catcher winning an MVP award. That's special, dude.
I'm not saying it's not special, but I see when I look at there's a lot of great catchers that didn't get more than 2 votes into the Hall of Fame. Now, Jorge Posada, it didn't make any sense, but he didn't get more than 2 votes. He was. I'm just bringing.
Mauer's the best catcher of the generation, right? I'm not even sure Jorge Posada is better than Jason Varitek.
Hitting-wise, but Jorge Posada was a great playoff hitter. He was one of the reasons why the Yankees won a lot of those championships. He was a big part.
They only won championships because their whole team was juiced.
Oh, God.
Perez's numbers 270, 195.
They're not good enough.
No.
Probably not.
We're doing this, right? Because every time a Tom Brady argument comes up, you yell cheating. And then so when you go, oh, well, Posada won. Yeah, with a bunch of people that cheated.